Welcome back to another show of Forklift Point of View. My name is Shah, and today we'll be talking about police, also known as civil servants. How do they make minorities actually feel? Or how it make you feel in general without you being a minority? It's going to be a very diverse show. How do you feel about a civil servant that your tax dollars are paying for to serve and protect, and they also have your life in their hands? How do you feel about that? That you could basically have a conversation one moment and be killed in the next. All these recordings of people getting killed and not enough justice. So sit back, listen to these different opinions. Hopefully you like it. If you like it, press that like button and subscribe. Yeah, so how you feel about police being a minority?
Me being a minority, I hate cops, period. I don't like cops. And I got family that's cops, and I don't like cops. You know what it is? Because they abuse their authority. That's what I don't like about it.
Facts.
They abuse it. And when it's time to do it, there's a lot of good cops out there, but there's a lot of assholes too.
Yeah, absolutely.
They abuse their authority. That's what fucks up the whole shit. When y'all abuse your authority, that's what hurts us. Because you don't respect us like we respect y'all. Y'all want us to respect y'all, but then you come and you put your hands on us.
Yeah.
Or you want to choke somebody.
Yeah.
Or instead of resolving it the right way. And that's why I'm like that. I got you right now. Stop talking to me like that. I'm making some money. Fuck 5-0. Killing them out here.
So what do you feel about police brutality, police in general as a minority?
As a minority, I feel like something needs to be done about it. There's too much injustice going on to just let it keep going. And like I was telling Bradley, one thing that could be done is focusing on changing, the top, like police chiefs and stuff like that, because all of that does trickle down to other cops and whole Blue Brother code and whatnot.
But what's your experience with police?
My experience, it's both good and bad. I've had cops fuck me up and even call me a spick at one point. But usually the cops I've dealt with were respectful in a sense. Like they weren't like OD crazy. Like
There wasn't an entire dick.
Yeah, like they were only a dick to a certain extent just because of the fact that I did put myself in trouble. It wasn't like they came to me to fuck with me or anything. And I don't know. It just depends on like the individual. That's the officer. It's hard to put it with all other cops because like
not the majority.
Yeah, exactly. Because the same cop that stopped me and when I was smoking weed told me, hey, I don't want to mess with you, whatever. Just take that down there where we don't see you, whatever. Could be the same cop that he sees another minority and decides to fuck with him.
Absolutely right.
I can't really make an informed decision on that because every individual's experience is always different.
Okay. Like, me personally, like, you already heard about the Breonna Taylor shit.
Yeah.
Like, how you get killed in your own home. That makes you feel so uneasy when it comes to officers. That at any given moment.
Yeah, but you see, the Breonna Taylor thing is weird because of the fact that just the information I'm hearing from it. Right? Because I heard, she was shot in her sleep, but from what I've heard and what I've seen people talk about is the house that her house, right, was given a no-knock warrant for a drug investigation, right? Like they've had her mans or whatever going back and forth to another location that another, drug bust was going. Like,
but you notice how all of this always happens that all of a sudden they have information about some type of drug or some type of illegal shit going down when somebody get killed. Sometimes you just like it's like conspiracy theories.
Yeah,
it's like,
exactly. But it also was a conspiracy theory too, because from what people have said is like Breonna Taylor's boyfriend shot first, and then 8 shots went into the apartment. That's what hit her. Like 8 shots hit her body. Like 20 shots went into the apartment, 8 shots hit her body, right?
Yeah, but
nothing hit him, but he shot too.
Yeah.
So it makes you wonder, right? Where was she sleeping? Where was he at? Where was the door? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's weird for the whole situation. Bad that she got killed anyway.
Yeah, but
horrible.
The thing that I feel on this is like, all right, say for instance, I'm in a house with my girl.
Yeah.
And people barge in the house. And you can hear footsteps and stand third. What is your first initiative?
Yeah, exactly.
To go ahead and protect
Yourself.
you and her.
Exactly.
So I don't fault him for that.
I don't fault him either. It's just like the whole situation seems weird because one, they were given a no-knock warrant, but according to police reports, they still knocked.
And that's bullshit.
Yeah, the dude said it was the guy said it was bullshit too. But the thing is, the door was never open. Like when the shots went off and everything.
Yeah.
He's even said it himself. He shot too. The door was closed, so it's not like they barged in. Then he said, "Oh shit, people coming in," and shot. It's weird. It's like how that whole situation, like, because they're not giving him the whole situation. He's not giving the whole situation because, like I said, there was a whole drug raid. We don't know if that's real or not. So it's like people are withholding information to protect themselves and protect whoever they want. So it's like, we won't ever get to the full bottom of it, which is ridiculous.
You know, the funny thing is, I feel like we need officers, but then we don't need them. If
Yeah,
we don't have officers, it would be complete anarchy.
That's the thing. Like, it's a two-way street, right? There's
Of
people
course.
saying that, oh, we need to get rid of the officers, right?
Yeah.
But that doesn't work out because in the state you live in, you're not allowed to own a handgun.
Yeah.
So you can't even protect yourself, even if something did happen, all right? Another argument is they can use non-violent police force, which I never heard of that. Because last time I checked, criminals or anybody in the street can still get a gun.
Yeah.
So if they got a gun pointed at you, what you gonna do? Call the non-violent cop to de-escalate the situation? No, it's weird. So
It reminds me of the Demolition Man.
Exactly. So exactly. So we do need cops to a certain extent, right? I think we just need to change the whole training aspect. How they're trained, because I think it was like 680 some hours, right? It was like more than 600 hours, right? That it takes to be a police officer, right? When I think it was the same amount to do something a lot more easier. It was weird. And one argument somebody said was they need a college course on criminal investigation and training, whatever. Like, there's a lot of things that can help improve them, but because I feel everyone's just not on the same page. Like, we got one people, arguing get rid of cops, other people arguing just defund them, don't get rid of them. So because we're not unified, we can't have a clear answer.
Of course not.
So that's why I always tell people is like, you shouldn't be quick to like negate something, like, get rid of the cops when you don't have a solution for what happens afterwards.
Facts.
So I think we should be more open to dialogue, like talk to people, right? But not do what normally happens and get triggered like halfway into the conversation and then start yelling, and then the whole conversation goes out the window. No one knows anything.
Facts.
But that's pretty much what I feel on cops.
Okay. Thanks, bro. All right. How do you feel about police officers being a minority?
How I feel about police officers being a minority, I mean, it's mixed feelings. Like, my brother's a cop, and the guy at my church is a cop. Obviously, they're good human beings, they're good people. But some just take it to the extreme, just like with anything. You got people that'll take it to the extreme. But in the small town that I live in Jersey, I had a good experience with the cops. The one time I did get arrested, very kind, very polite, only handcuffed me until they had to. I got pulled over. They said, hey, let you go with a warning. And there's other times I ran into cops who were just complete jerks. Wanted to search me, wanted my ID for no apparent reason, just standing in front of a bar. Asking if I'm selling drugs. No, I'm not. But we're gonna search you. And they didn't even ask me if it was okay, and they just went ahead and did it. So I got mixed emotions on it. I still tell my kids to respect police officers. Ultimately, if something happens, my house gets broken into, I will call the cops, but I don't want to have to worry, if I'm going to get shot because they think I broke into my own home.
Just like this Breonna Taylor.
Yeah.
So unfortunate. So ridiculous.
It's a double-edged sword, unfortunately.
That's what I've been saying, actually. Exactly. That's my point right there. It is a double-edged sword. Because we need them, but we don't need them at certain times.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
And that's how I feel too. About the whole defunding. Like I don't agree with the abolishing of police officers. I do agree with the defunding. As far as the defunding goes, taking some of that money and then and having social workers deal with the mentally ill, deal with the homeless, deal with the those who are addicted to drugs.
Yeah.
They're not the ones who need the cops to be called on.
Absolutely.
They need extra help. And a lot of times cops aren't necessarily trained for that. That's also not the police officers' fault. They're not all trained to deal with the mentally ill.
Yeah.
That's my.
Some of them are biased. Some of them, some of them are very biased. And sometimes I just feel like, well, they're the jury and executioner right there in front of you, and that's too much power for one person. And there's hundreds of them. So it's like, what can you possibly do? You can't do too much of anything.
Yeah, I mean, you hear it all the time about how you have, we got some bad apples, right? But that's not a profession where you can have bad apples. It's not. They need to be screened better. They need to be trained better. I'm a veteran.
Yeah.
I've been to Iraq. I've detained people, and in no way, shape, or form do we treat, the detainees any worse than the way some of us are being treated in this country. I think it goes with the training and the screening process. But with anything, time takes time. And like you said, you have biases. Yes, like I'm not disputing that, nor will I argue that. But like it's been said before, there's plenty of good cops out there. Like I said, my brother's a cop. I have members of my church who are police officers, and the thing is, I know that they're out there doing the right thing, not just because they're black. I've seen videos on YouTube and Facebook where black officers are slamming people to the ground for no apparent reason at all.
They're power hungry. They don't know how to deal with it.
I will. And people, I see their point when they say, there are some bad apples, don't judge them all. Right? I get it. I do my best not to judge anybody, on the uniform that they put on every day or the badge that they put on every day. I try to judge people by their content and their character. But unfortunately, like I mentioned before, like that's not a profession where you can afford to have bad apples. You're dealing with the public. Like your sole purpose is to deal with the public.
Yeah, you're a civil servant.
A civil servant who is paid by the
taxpayers' dollars.
Taxpayers' dollars. It's not a profession. I heard this once before, like, and it was so true. Like, police officers get such a bad rap because of the things that they do. That's why there's a song called "Fuck the Police." There's not a song out, there's not a song out there that's called "Fuck the Firemen."
Yeah, absolutely right.
But yet the firemen, and paramedics, they deal with the public all the time. There's new songs, about them. So I think they need to take a good hard look at themselves. I think they are now, but again, time takes time. We'll see what happens.
Thanks, bro.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I'd like to go ahead and take the time to thank everybody that I had a conversation with for their time. I had my own personal experience with police officers and how I feel about police. I feel that we do need them, but then there's times that we don't. You have my life in your hands. So you're the jury and the executioner at times. And nobody wants that. So my experience with police officers, I shouldn't even be here. They drew guns out on me for a false statement from a kid saying that I had a gun and I robbed him for his leather jacket. 3 minutes after I left his area, his vicinity. I've never seen anybody go ahead and move that fast, removing a gun and a leather jacket at the same time while having on a sweatsuit, Pele Pele. It was asinine. It was 6 Impalas that pulled up on me with no questions asked, drew their guns out on me, asked me to keep my hands in my pocket, but slowly take out my hands out my pocket. It was the stupidest thing I ever heard. They searched me up and down, looking for a gun that was never there. Push comes to shove, let's just say an hour or two later, they had to let me go because they found out the person was lying. They made my life a living hell for those 2 hours for no apparent reason. I wasn't the only person who was there. I had 2 other people. One of them is no longer with us. The other one, I have no idea what's his name. But it's different. It's totally different. We need them, but we don't need them. Yeah, everybody's a joke. Yo, anyway, hit that like button and subscribe button. If you want to see more content, just hit me back up. Y'all have a good one. See you tomorrow.